It's a great day to talk hockey on HabsCast.
These guys are going to drive me to drink. Talk about your up and down, topsy-turvy game, folks. Thought they were out of it going into the third. 2 goals. Kapanen. I had my headline, Kapanen second game winner of the year. Habs first in the East. I'm glad I wasn't having to write an article because I'd had to destroy my lead about 2 or 3 times. New Jersey scores with about a minute left. Kind of, I don't know, Dobie, I wish he could have froze the puck there. Matheson, he's playing too much, He's dead tired. 27 minutes into the freaking game, and, he's dead tired. And so you really expect him to have a lot of juice left there to fight that guy off? Probably not. He's got to start playing less than 25 minutes. I'm not gonna be too hard on Matheson. He's been playing excellent. Newhook with 2 kind of brain farts tonight. Running into Kapanen for the first goal against there, coughing up the puck, and then I don't know what he was thinking, and that was a Galchenyuk type pass. Remember the overtime winner against the Leafs when Galchenyuk was with Toronto? Like, you just don't try to pass it across there in that situation. You circle back, you go back along the boards, keep possession of the puck. You don't try to thread that through to the, Nui. Too bad on that. I thought that for the most part, that line, Demi wasn't one of Demidov's better games. I thought Kapanen played his best game in a couple of weeks, and I thought that well before he scored that big goal. But he was excellent tonight. Really encouraged by his bounce back after what I thought were a couple of mediocre efforts. Not quite understanding why Veleno is getting as much ice time as he is. Just, everyone talking about, well, should we bring up somebody to replace him? And then, let's have a quick look at the let's have a quick look at this. Add to stage. We'll do this. Veleno tonight had 12:44. Demidov had 10:27. Can you explain that one to me? I'm not quite getting it. I thought, okay, when they put him onto the so-called fourth line, that, that meant that, they'd be reducing his ice time, but in fact, it's been going up. Evan scores a fluky goal, and then all of a sudden, what? Marty doesn't want to take him off the ice. 18 minutes tonight, 8 more than Demidov. I mean, I get it to a certain degree. He's better defensively at this point, but you got to score them too, right? Waybell, how's it going, my friend? Wayne, yes, Newhook with the brain cramp. I don't know if you caught. Yeah, no, that was. You might have missed my first minute, Wayne, but yes, 2 brain cramps. He coughed there up in the first goal against, and for the game winner there. It's unfortunate, but Cody Glass scored first goal, 1-0. New Jersey, Kirby Dach. Hey, 4 goals in 4 games. He'd gone with 4 goals in 19 games. The previous 19. So nice to see Dach. I thought Dach was solid again tonight. It was nice to see Dobson get a couple of helpers. Kapanen with his 5th. He keeps playing solid. Is he leading all rookies in goal scoring? He's right there. Pretty impressive penalty killing and leading center that's leading rookies in goal scoring. That's he's playing solid. Evans finally gets on the board with his second goal tonight. You know, all in all, he played a pretty decent game, but I still don't quite get why they're playing him 8 minutes more than Demidov. I mean, Demidov's a game breaker, right? I don't quite understand that, but in the second period, it was 2-1. Palat made it 2-1. Hughes and Nemec. Third period, got to give him credit. Evans tied it up with that fluky one, but that was a really nice goal by Cappy to put them ahead, and they came down close to winning her. But I guess Jersey's now 6-0 at home. They should have been 5-1, but I suppose getting a point right on the road to a team that was undefeated. When you look at the big picture, I guess that's okay. But boy, it's tough to blow it when you're up a goal with a minute left. That's always a tough pill to swallow. But we'll get back to the. By the way, Rick had family drop by tonight, and they were having a good time. And I told him, just, hey, don't forget about it, Rick. I can do this one solo. So I appreciated him even offering to come out. 27 minutes for 21 again for Suzuki, 27 for Matheson. You could almost copy and paste this after every game. Some of these ice times, Zach Bolduc down to 9-11. He was the low man. Didn't see a lot from Zach tonight. He's been kind of quiet as of late. I'd like to see a little more from him. I thought both. I mean, Demidov and Bolduc didn't have overly productive games, I didn't think, and I guess in that regard, okay, I can see why they maybe had the least amount of ice time, but still, Demidov 10-27. I hope that doesn't happen too often. Yeah, even if he is struggling a little bit at some points in the game, he had 822 even strength. Him and Bolduc were again the low men on the totem pole when it came to that. Bolduc did have once again not a lot of shots, right? They under 20 once again. It's funny, like players often are, the coach tries. It's in the image of the coach, right? I was looking at Marty's stats, and he had 8 straight seasons of more than 200 shots, and the Canadians got like one player that's on pace. Obviously, it's Caulfield on pace to have more than 200 shots. Sheldon's a little worked up tonight. Yeah. I mean, Bolduc I didn't think had a great game, Sheldon, but yeah, he shouldn't be playing that little. Like, he shouldn't be playing less than Veleno, and definitely Demidov shouldn't be. I get that. I don't know why they're. I don't get Veleno getting that much ice time. He's working hard, but he just. The more you see him, the more you see why he just never reached his potential, because there's not a lot of offensive creativity to his game. Pucks die in the offensive zone on his stick, and yeah, you like to have those players in fourth line roles and checking roles, but man, when the game's tied or it's you need a goal, why keep trotting out a guy without a point in the season? I don't, that's back in the that's the Claude Julien school of coaching. I did tweet out today that it reminded me of Byron Fraze when Claude used to play. Fraze had like 1 point 30 games into the year or something ridiculous like that, and Claude would trot him out 13, 14 minutes a game, and you just like, yeah, you want to keep the pucks out of your own net, but when you get no points, like how is that? You're on the ice for some goals against. Like if you're not scoring any, what are you doing playing 13 to 15 minutes a game? But anyway, hopefully it was just a blip on the radar. Demi wasn't great tonight, so I sort of, I kind of understand why he wasn't getting a pile of ice time, but still, he one good shift, right? And it's he's a game breaker, and it's a little disappointing. I keep seeing this, right? Okay, time to try Dach with Demidov and Bolduc. Okay, because Dach had 4 goals in the last 4 games. Kapanen was excellent tonight, all around. No, I keep that line together. They've been second most consistent line all year, so don't break them up. I mean, if you do make a change, it'd be Bolduc swapped with Newhook, as far as I'm concerned. I'd put Bolduc with Demidov and Kapanen and play them more than 10 minutes a game is what I do. But Marty prefers Newhook playing 15, and like what did let's just get this back up here. Newhook, I know, always gets more ice time than Kapanen and Demidov, which is also a little frustrating. But he had 15 minutes tonight at the end of the games, and then and especially in OT, he wants Newhook out there. I mean, he's fast, but I don't know. There's smarter players on the team, as we saw by that turnover. The turnover, and hopefully that turnover kind of makes them rethink it a bit and think, okay, well, maybe we could get smarter players out there in overtime that aren't going to try plays like that, because that was not. He just handed it to him, which unfortunately. Wayne, I didn't see this, but yeah, well, Bolduc should probably be on the second line. And when you're only playing 8 minutes, it's hard to be noticed, right? I mean, I get that, but I personally don't think Bolduc's been that effective the last few games. But again, it doesn't help. Doesn't help when you're playing 8 minutes in a game. That's for sure. Anyways, that was a frustrating loss. Francois, hey, thanks, man. Not having Dvorak is hurting us this year. Yeah. Well, they'd been. It's funny, they'd been on a heater with faceoffs, and even tonight, actually, guys, 57% again on faceoffs. They've been winning the faceoff battle every friggin' game of late. Kapanen again, 75% in the faceoff circle. I don't know what his faceoff stats are now, but he's got to be up to 55% or something. They might want to start, I don't understand why Newhook keeps taking so many draws. He's not, he's never been good on them. But, well, apparently he only had 2 faceoffs tonight. But Kirby Dach, believe it or not, was 100% in faceoffs tonight. Evans 58, Kapanen 75%. He's last 5 or 6 games, I think he's at about 65% in the faceoff circle. Mind you, he only took 4 draws, but I really liked Kapanen's game tonight. I thought he was solid. He's so solid on the forecheck, and yeah, Wayner, lack of shots are very worrisome. Seems like every game, if they hit 20, that's a cavalcade of shots, right? Like Marty was a shooter, and I guess you can tell these guys to shoot, but telling people to shoot and then getting them to shoot are two different things. And guys, I hope things can get a little heated in the live chats when the Habs blow a game like that. But keep her civil. We're a good group here. Oh, okay. Sheldon apologized. Hey, no problem, guys. You get a little worked up. Samurai Knight. Dovish looked a bit out of it. Marty sat him too long. You don't need that to do that to a hot goalie. Yeah, I know a way. I don't know. Dovish is still he made some big saves. Like Jersey's a good team. Yeah, he let in 4 or whatever, but there were some good scoring chances, and I like how he comes out of the net, right? Yeah. Scotty, nice for you to weigh in, buddy. Totally agree with Cap. He's a rookie too. Great show with Liam and the legend. Yes, if you missed it, posted it on YouTube earlier tonight. Liam and I got to chat with Yvan Cournoyer, and oh my goodness, what a I mean, you always could tell that he was a great guy, right? Whenever you'd see interviews and stuff, but haven't dealt with him the last 2 days. Yesterday, we couldn't get hit. He's 82, right? And had to get, you got to have Google Chrome for StreamYard, and they didn't have it, and they couldn't, we couldn't get it working. His sound was echoing, and because he didn't have Google Chrome. And anyway, so we couldn't do it yesterday, but how patient he was and how nice. Just, not a touch, not even a hint of ego in this man. And I mean, he's a Hall of Famer, right? But you could just tell that he just wants to have fun, joke about things. Liam has had pints with him for 40 years, a lucky bastard. And I can just imagine how much fun, especially in his heyday, like 30 years ago, having a few pints with the Roadrunner, how great that must have been for Liam. When Liam was a kid, his idol was Yvan Cournoyer. And Liam told the story of how he, it was pretty cool that when he did meet Cournoyer, he said, "Oh, we watch you all the time on Dick Irvin show." And it's like, wow, okay. My hockey hero watches me all the time. But go watch that. It's like 30 minutes. Tomorrow or whenever you get a chance, it's up on my YouTube channel, on this channel. And listen, if you're watching this on X, pop in to live chat, pop over to my YouTube channel, HabsCast, and weigh in here. Leave us a few comments. I'd love to hear from you. Audio Murphy, Habs need to trade for a centerman, sell the farm. Sid has 11 goals so far. Yeah, well, 3 centermen scored goals tonight. What was it? Because Suzuki is no good, or what? I don't know. It's not tonight's maybe not the night to be harping on them needing the center when Dach, Newhook, and Evans all scored. But yeah, oh yeah, they'll be getting another center. They have to get a left center, I would imagine, at some point. But I thought Dach and Kapanen were both good tonight, and Evans obviously scored a goal. But yeah, they'll be getting another center, I would think, or somebody that can play, center and forward. Hats off to Matheson, 27-16, 5 block shots, and take one for the team, saving Dovas. Yeah, no, I don't blame him for that goal against. He's been playing way too much. David Brown, the Dave Brown. Hey, Dave, I loved having you on. I sent a message out. I didn't get the response. I invited Johnny Myers on, but I didn't see any response from him. We're going to have to start getting a few more our patrons, our YouTube patrons. By the way, if you subscribe, become a YouTube patron, you can come on. You can join me after a game. And I didn't bring my phone down, I guess. Yeah, you can join me after a game, and we'll have you on. We'll have you on live and on video, and you can give your comments on the game and talk to us, shoot the shit a bit, and it'd be great. But Dave says we worked on Tuesday during second. Where was our forecheck? Yeah. No, it's yeah. That's, I can't disagree with that. No, Wayne says can't sell a farm for old guys. Yeah, I don't consider Sidney Crosby to be an old guy. He's a generational player. Like, he's never had less than a point per game. Yeah, I'd sell the farm for Sidney Crosby. He's an exception to the rule for me. But I understand what people are saying. You don't sell a farm for old guys, but Sidney Crosby, yeah, when he's 45, if he wants to keep playing, he'll be a fantastic player. So, Slater 69, loved Kapanen goal and Dobson 2 points. Yeah, for sure, man. Anyone have Kapanen's stats on the year now? I'm gonna type it in and check it out, but he's got to be up to about 55% on faceoffs, and I mean, you to see a rookie center anywhere in that vicinity is pretty impressive. What was he going into tonight? 53.2. So he's now he's won 36 and lost 30. So 66 divided by 36, right? Somebody get their calculator out. I don't have my phone here, or I'd do it. But he might be up to 55 or damn close to it. 55%, 54 at the least. That is excellent. Absolutely. Arbor 1054 tonight. Yeah. I thought Stroobs was solid till that first penalty that he got against Hughes. That was a phantom call. I'm sorry. Hughes spins back and he falls down. And what was the penalty for? For being tight on him? There were a few chintzy calls, and they went both ways. That one against the Jersey guy was pretty chintzy, and there were 2 or 3 the Habs that were chintzy. The one against Struble in the third, yeah, that wasn't a very good penalty, but I like Struble again tonight. I thought he was pretty solid. He kept a lot of plays going in the offensive zone. Moved the puck pretty well with Hudson tonight. Didn't mind. Lane had 4 giveaways. Demidov had 3 giveaways in 10 minutes. That's probably why Marty kind of, tonight's not his night. Hey, he's a rookie. He's not going to be perfect. There are going to be games where he's not fantastic, but still disappointing that they only gave him 10 minutes ice time. Let's get to a few more questions here. Sheldon Hughes. I remember the Roadrunner coming to Winnipeg in the 90s playing fastball with the Canadians old timers. He definitely played a lot of ball growing up. Hey, those guys back in the day, they played that's what they did. They played ball in the summer and hockey in the winter. And yeah, there was a lot of Robinson was a fantastic ball player. Doug Wickenheiser could probably have played Major League Baseball. He was a phenomenal ball player. Like Larry was a great fastball player, but baseball, Wickenheiser, if he wasn't such a great hockey player when he was a kid, I think, from all accounts, he was like a phenom baseball too. Sorry about that. Yeah. Cournoyer legs like tree trunks too. He was put together. He was the Marty St. Louis version of Marty St. Like when you talk about similar bodies from their eras or whatever, the Roadrunner and Marty St. Louis very similar, but Roadrunner had like toned, like just really built like the cube, Marty St. Louis. Yeah, very strong. I mean, there was reasons why he was so fast, right? Francois Bedard. The tricky part about acquiring a second line center, that center won't play on first power play if they don't have even more strength points than Dach and Kapanen. Yeah, I don't see the. I know that's the narrative, like get a center, but Kapanen's been great. He has 5 goals. He kills penalties. He's very good defensively. He has 5 goals. He's leading goal scoring rookie, I believe. He's only going to get better. Dach is rounding into shape. He has 4 goals in 4 games. Like right now, I know that's we need a center. They're above 50% in the faceoff circle. Dach and Kapanen are coming, are playing well. Evans is, good on draws, good on penalty kill. Suzuki's one of the top 5 centers in the league right now. I don't, I don't see the absolute, let's sell the farm for a center right now. Like right now, let's just keep her going. They're in first place in the East. Let's have a look at the standings here. All right. I mean, does it really need to be fixed? They're tied with Jersey. And I mean, holy frig, eh? The Canadians could easily be 12-2 now. Like it's the Edmonton game, the New York game, and this game tonight. They all should have won all 3 of those. And if they did, they wouldn't be friggin' they wouldn't have 5 losses. But at the end of the day, look where they are. They are tied for first in the Eastern Conference. So, and you asked me tonight. No, I don't think it's like, yeah, get a center at some point, get it, but does it have to be before the trade deadline? Not if they're in first place in the East. Like they don't have to. Teams aren't trading their second top 2 centers. Like no teams are out of the friggin' playoff race. If you go look back at this, 16 points for this 8th place team, 20 for the first place team, right? But you go down all the way in the East. I didn't do all the standings here, but I mean, I think 13 or something like that's like the worst team. Like, there's just so much parity in the division. Do you think what would it say to a team like the Islanders, for instance, who are right in the thick of things? Well, hey, we're gonna trade Bo Horvat, even though we're 2 points out of the playoffs in November. Like nobody's going to be doing that. So, we can talk about trading for a center all we want, but if we do, it's going to be from one of the teams in the West that's out of it. But even they aren't looking to. There aren't many that have centers that would fit the bill on those teams. That's one of the reasons why they're at the bottom of the standings, right? Is because they don't have much center depth. So, Jessica Silva, hey Jessica, nice to have a lady in here. We don't get too many. I appreciate you popping in. Dach's value has to be rising a little. He needs to be a trade chip for left-handed center. Okay, well that's fair enough. If you want to look at it that way, maybe, eh? But I think teams are going to be leery about. That's a good point, Jessica, and thank you. I think teams going to be a little leery about Dach yet, right? He's kind of been damaged goods, so is somebody going to go out of the way to? It may be more like one of the teams that's out of the race, and not now, but in a couple months. If Dach remains healthy and all that, then Dach's in the mix to be dealt, right? Um, but also you can dangle some of the other, Engstrom's a possibility. I don't know if Hage. I don't know if you saw that. I've been trying to get his coach for the last year to come on, and trying to get Hage too, and I just not getting a lot of cooperation from Michigan. If you're watching this, University of Michigan, please let me talk to one of these guys. But Naruto, his coach was saying like he was injured, 80% injured last year, however he put it, and that his game has come up. And I mentioned that I was talking to a scout that really liked his pace and his play in the dirty areas, which I think is what's needed to improve the most. But what was interesting to hear from his coach too is, and I mean, we noticed it when he went to development camp, and I remarked on it, that he had bulked up, right? But he put on 8 pounds of muscle and lost 3% body fat. So he's getting, his body. Give him 2 more years, 2 more off seasons like that, and look out. He's I'm changing my tune a little bit on him being center. I think that I might have been a little. You got to be patient with these guys, right? He's not going to be second line center next year, but 2 to 3 years, if he keeps improving, keeps getting bulking up, keeps going to the dirty areas, keeps working on his back checking and all around game. He's in that mix. I looked again at Jarosky there today. Oh, frick. He's looking really good at center at 18 years of age in the KHL. Like the Canadians, oh, I'm just not quite as sure. I really like Kapanen. I think I really think he's top 3 center, but so are Jarosky and Hage. So do you trade for another top 3 center? And Dach, 4 goals in 4 games. If he keeps producing and playing like he is, there's 4 legitimate top 3 centers, right? Well, 5 counting Suzuki, obviously. So I don't know. The thing is, yeah, Dach can always be moved to the wing, I suppose. But I do like the idea of a 6'4" center. One of your centers being 6'4". That's why he was a top 3 pick, because the projection was that he'd be a 6'4" center down the road. And 100% on his faceoffs tonight, right? If he can ever become close to a 50% faceoff man. 3 years ago or 2 years ago, before his knee injury, I really did like his defensive game at center. I thought he was very good down low, and even like he was playing gritty. He could fight. He showed a lot of really good things that he was going to develop into an all-around second line center. So I'm not giving up on him yet either. We're seeing encouraging signs the last 5-6 games. I think, Kapanen's only 22 years of age, and what he's doing is pretty amazing too. I don't know. They're in a good spot where I don't think it's a desperate. They're not desperate to get they're in first place, right? Their centers are playing fairly well. So they're not in a position of weakness right now. We thought differently going into the year, but right now it's safe to say that, it's not an absolute need at this point. So Kent doesn't have to panic, right? And he'll wait for the right deal to come along if it does. Johnny Golden, are we a serious cup contender with Sid on the team? I think so. absolutely. Yeah. But I mean, we can talk about Sid all we want, but Pens are in like third place, right? Clinton Kolzak. Hey, Clint, thank you for weighing in here. Struble gets to play free. Arbor doesn't. Interested to see what happens next game as far as ice time. I don't know what. Maybe you can expand on that. Gets to play free. I'm not quite sure I understand. Thanks for weighing in, Clinton. Hey, I always like to see new faces here. Um, what about Henry Richard? Sheldon was also playing. I'd have to follow in the line here. What would you be willing to trade if the Islanders called and told you Bo Harbert was available? Yeah. Everyone just keeps saying, again, nobody's trading. Bo Harvart's not being traded right now. I wish he was, but nobody's trading their first line center that's in the playoff. Like, what's that tell you? The first of all, to the team, second of all, to your fans, third of all, to your owner. Like, no, it's not happening anytime soon. Let's talk about this in a couple months, okay? Instead of it being like the main source of topic for a team that's in first place and has centers that are playing fine, I wish it wasn't such a hot topic. I know you know, uh, we love to speculate and stuff, but nobody's trading. Nobody that's in the playoff race right now is trading their first line center. It's just, and it, they may not even trade him even if they do get out of the playoffs because he's in his prime. He's got a lot of years left on his deal. Schaefer is going to be a star. The Islanders might only be a year or two away. Well, if you trade Horvat, then they're 3 years away. Well, maybe the owner doesn't want to be 3 years away, right? So I don't know. I'd like Horvat, but I keep going back to it wouldn't be surprising if it was something like bringing back Dvorak. You know, did you see how those guys like greeted each other? They're such. Dvorak was beloved in the dressing room there. Mr. No Smile after goal and stuff like the yin and yang with him and Caulfield, like they're best buddies. And you saw everybody coming over to him and saying hi to him when he came back. But there's a lot of things that Dvorak brings. If Philly's out of the playoff race, it wouldn't be the first time that a team's done that too, right? That a guy goes away, but Dvorak loved it here, and the teammates love him, and the team loved him. They just, they weren't going to be signing him to a $5 million deal, but with a month left in the season or 2 months left in the season, 1 year deal. At the trade deadline, if Horvat's not available, Sid's not available, what have you, there aren't that many names really. Maybe Dvorak comes back, and that's a nice piece to have down the stretch and for the playoffs. I know that doesn't sound real sexy, and that's not going to excite a lot of people, but don't forget there's Zurowski coming. There's Zurowski and Hage look legitimate. Do you have to get a center and pay a big price when you've got Kapanen? Papanicus is really good too. I like Koivu, Dach, Kapanen, Suzuki. Do you sell the farm to get another center? If it's Sidney Crosby, I say yes. Anyone else, I don't sell the farm, but you explore everything. So anyway, it's always going to be an interesting topic of conversation. And I guess, it's gonna remain a hot topic. There's articles every day and there's rumors every day. I think Free Elliott, knows how to play the game too. Oh, Canadians who like this. Yeah, well, we'll see. I don't think Kent's, burning up the phone lines at this point. I think he's probably saying, well, let's just sit back and see what Kirby and Oliver keep doing here, because they're playing pretty well. Wayner, keep our grade A prospects and be patient. Exactly. That's yeah. I think you got to be. I think that's the route you have to take, right? Cuckoo. Sorry, Slater. 69. Next 4 home games will be a good test, and I hope we get 5 out of 8. Utah, LA, Stars, Bruins. Yeah, there you go, right? I haven't even been talking about that. I should get the schedule in front of me, but is that the next 4 games all at home? We lose whichever game Monty starts. LA, if I'm not mistaken, I think has been they've been road killers this year. Last year they barely lose at home, and this year so far they're winning. They're winning all sorts of games on the road, believe it or not. Utah, yeah, they're come down a little bit back to earth. It's tough, right, on these eastern road swings. Hopefully they can beat Utah. LA, definitely beatable, but you never know. Stars and Bruins, yeah. Well, I think 5 is a reasonable expectation on those games. Maybe another overtime loss and 2 wins, 2-1-1. That seems like a reasonable expectation. John B. The next move that has to be made is getting Gooley back in the lineup. That'll improve the team instantly. Yeah. No, that's a good point. And we'll see who comes out, right? Liam and I will have to have a discussion about that when that's going to be coming up. Clinton Kozak, he doesn't have to worry about making mistakes and taking penalties. I don't know about that, Clinton. Oliver Kapanen needs to play with. Yeah, I keep hearing that. Yeah. Disagree. Absolutely disagree. Did you see that power move he made today, going to the net? And his forechecking is relentless. He wins puck battles along the boards all the time. I think these are talking points that I kept seeing and hearing from journalists, some of the Montreal media, and people take it as the gospel. No, watch him. No way. He doesn't have to play with more intensity. I disagree 100% on that. And I think it's all born of some journalists that make it have made it a talking point. And it's listen, I've watched Kapanen for 3 years now. I saw him. He goes in front of the net and takes a beating, and he's tough. He'll take a beating. He forechecks hard. He wins just about every puck battle. He gets his stick in there and wins battles. He had the best net drive of the night tonight. It was exact opposite of what you're saying, that he lacks intensity. And it's bothers me when I keep reading it, because I think it's people reading it from journalists and saying, oh, well, no, absolutely 100% disagree with that, Michael. There. But thanks for contributing. Devo, I don't mind bringing him back. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. Because it's not gonna cost that much. Yeah, I noticed that, Wayne. Kyrou is being benched. Yeah. Talk about a guy that's kind of can be perimeter, that plays perimeter. Yeah, that would be one. Oh, and by the way, who drove to the net and scored what should have been the game-winning goal tonight? Unless that was Kapanen, Mr. No Intensity. Sometimes I wonder about these narratives that get, it becomes somebody said it, like I don't know if it was Snake or whoever, right? Somebody, and I keep reading it. I was like, what are you watching? Sorry, but it just bothers me. Francois Bedard, you were right, Grant. There aren't any center available that makes sense now, and it would be slim, costly, and not optimal at deadline. Then I think it might have to be during the summer. Yeah, maybe, right? For sure. Hey, Grant, good chat. Thanks, guys. Elliot's looking for clicks. Yeah, he doesn't need to. But these guys know there's always articles. Like Elliot's always, Drags is the same in that, like, whenever there's players available, they're rumored to be available, they always got to add, well, Montreal's interested or Toronto's interested, or they know how to play the game. Wild Brick. So who you don't like? Struble and Newhook. Okay. What, Struble because tonight he got a penalty, and Newhook because of the. Hey, we can be a little reactionary, right? Struble's been great. I love Strubes. I got no issue with Struble. And Newhook, hey, frig, he's playing great. Best hockey he's played. I'll forgive him for a couple of miscues. He's still all in all been playing quite well. Hugh Fisher, everyone is looking for the silver bullet in a 2C. Truth is, new lines take a good while to gel. Time takes time. Yeah, no, good points. Struble won't stop getting penalties. Yeah, well, the last two games there, Wild Brick, or what? So we got 3 penalties in the last 2 games. So, like, we have recency bias here, right? It just no. Look at the whole. You got to look at the whole picture. And since Struble's been in, he's playing. He played great tonight. 1 bad penalty, and that's it. Other than that, I thought he had an excellent game. Last game, he had 6 hits. He's got 3 penalties or something in his last 3 games. And that's it seems that way because in the last 2 games he's had 3 penalties. That penalty that he got against Hughes tonight, I'm sorry, that was garbage. He didn't do anything. He played it perfectly, textbook defense. And so you got to trade him because the ref made a bad call. No. Movies to share. Question. Hey, Grant, what is the max you would give for Crosby? Say they want Hage and Reinbacher. Do you do it? Yeah. No. I mean, I offer Hage, Engstrom, 2 first-round picks, something like that. Not Reinbacher, no. They aren't going to do it. They aren't trading Reinbacher. I don't think, anyway. You can't get rid of what's going to be your top 2 right defensemen, I don't think, for that move. They offer a lot of different things, but I don't think Reinbacher will be one of them. They can offer a nice package, right? I mean, it doesn't have to be Reinbacher. They can ask, but I hold on to him. I think Reinbacher's going to be a stud. New Jersey had a lot of 2 versus 1, 3 versus 2 tonight. What do you think Montreal did bad to allow that? New Jersey's top team in the East, right? Along with Montreal, it's less what Montreal did bad, I think, and more what just New Jersey's a damn good team. Jack Hughes, right? Bratt, Mercer's playing well. Hischier, this is a really good team. They've got a great young defense, good mobile team. Canadians stuck with them, right? Home game, probably should have came out with 2 points. So, was it perfect? No, but I I think Francois, it's more a case of what did New Jersey do right than a case of what Montreal did wrong. That would be how I'd look at it. Top two right defense are hard to find. Yeah, that's true. The ref and the Flyers and the Oilers game should be fired. Garrett Rank. Yeah, I agree 100%. Are we we're not getting too many comments here, is it? Everybody, how many people we got on board here? We've had almost 800 tune in. That's excellent. I thank everyone for showing up here. Maybe I'll just go a few more minutes, guys. Don't have a lot more to go over here. If you got a couple more questions, weigh in there. Michael, I hope you weren't scared off by my this no intensity with Kapanen narrative. Just I don't get it. I really don't. It's the opposite for me. Yeah, I'm a Kapanen guy, but no, that's not. That does not describe him. I'm sorry. So the Leafs, it's so friggin' tight, hey. Yeah, the Habs are on top, but Carolina, they could be tied with them. Basically, win percentage, right? It's Jersey, Habs, Carolina, right there. And then all these teams like 2 points back. Leafs are only 2 wins away. Frig, even Boston's hanging in there pretty good. Is that all? Reinbacher, when you say is that all? Reinbacher's not all. He's a pretty coveted prospect, and I think the Penguins would realize that we're probably not going to be getting him. Johnny Golden, we're finding a way to get points almost every game. Kapanen will only get better, right, Grant? Yeah, I believe that. Tell me tonight, what are your 3 stars tonight, guys? Who would you classify as your 3 stars? Let me look at this. If it were up to me, I would probably go. Matheson, Kapanen, Dach. Would folks be in agreement with that? Maybe Dobson. Those 4 would all be in the running for me. So, what's the common theme there? 2 centers. So, yeah. Let's take a couple more. Yeah. Well, Dobson, because he had two assists, mostly. Yeah, he was pretty solid. Matheson or Dobson, right, as the defenseman. Take your pick. And Dach and Kapanen up front. I think that's a good group. Spooley, Bolduc hurt or coming back to earth. Steal 2 points this week isn't bad. The Dach goal was an amazing bounce from the hockey gods. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, big question with Bolduc again, and I think you have to consider that, hey, he only played 9 minutes or whatever, right? So it's tough. It's tough to get out there when you're only playing a few shifts. $1 million question for you, Grant. Who would you put in net next game? Oh, not $1 million question for me, Dolbish. You go with the guy that's been the best all year, but they probably go with Monty. Montreal fans saying Quebec. Pittsburgh isn't a playoff team seems to have inspired them to be great. Watch out when they come to town. Yeah, well, Sid and Malkin, right? Malkin seems to have discovered the fountain of youth there. I know he got off to a really fast start last year too, but he's been really good so far, hasn't he? So Johnny, hey, great show, Grant. Thanks. Let's hit the likes to help Grant out. Yeah, I think I'm going to wrap this up in an hour, guys. Please hit like, subscribe if you haven't already, hype if you're on mobile and you have that option. All of it's good. It all helps. I forgot to. Usually I retweet it when it's live. I'll have to do this. 769 views on 769 views on X. That's pretty good. 815 total here. Love the numbers. And again, when you're on X and you want to, if you want to weigh into the live chat, you'll notice that I read a lot of the live chat. I like to interact with everybody, right? I don't just go on and talk and blab and give my opinions, or me and another person. I mean, Montreal fans are the best in the world, as far as I'm concerned. Are the most intelligent, most hockey savvy fans there are on the planet. So I I really do like interacting with you, because at the end of the day, I'm just a hockey fan too, really, right? So we're all in the same boat. Yeah. Okay, folks. Well, unless you got a couple more questions, I think we're gonna have to wrap this up. My puppy dog, I can hear him prancing upstairs. I think I gotta let him out. So great night. Thanks for everything. Hey, Zeph, I appreciate that. A true hockey fan, Grant. Yeah, that's me. Hockey. Oh, we got a couple of quick ones here. Francois, more something in the summer, but would you do Misa for Reinbacher, age and a protected first? No. Misa. Holy frig, you like Misa. Habs need Gould back really badly, yet some cards want to trade a core defenseman. Yeah. YouTube is woke. Oh, that's a heck of a name. I'm not sure what you mean by cards. Oh, tards. Yeah, so woke, tards, la la la. Yeah, tone it down there, whoever you are. Not real fan of tards and woke, either word, to be honest with you. In fact, I'm gonna ban that user. Bye bye. Yeah, don't need YouTube is woke and people saying tards. He's banned. Bye bye. More something for the summer, but what'd you do? Yeah, getting back to that for a sec. Yeah. Geez, you really do like Misa. No, I wouldn't do that. I mean, Hage might be as good as Misa. Probably not, but Reinbacher doesn't seem. There seems to be it's a little discouraging that I see him to continue to. I know he's not in the lineup yet, right? But hey, he's still 20 years of age, and believe me, 6'4" European defenseman at 20 years of age, you got to give him time, right? He's going to be a very good one. He really is, and I don't see them trading Reinbacher. I really don't. Mark, I'd like to see a call up from Laval soon. Valeno doesn't do it for me. Yeah, I'd like to see You know who I'd like to see is Davidson get called up. I think that'd be pretty cool. Okay, folks, I'm going to keep this under an hour tonight. Thanks for everything. Have a good night. And hey, we hope to see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.